Hi all, just a quick video. I noticed my viewers shot up over 1,000. Thank you. I think what this means is that people are fed up and realizing that we're all kind of, wearing these masks and pretending to be okay with shit that isn't okay. And it's time for people to wake up. And I've used the metaphor of the red pill like the Matrix before. That's what this is. It's not just Japan. It's not just, America, Japan, this, that. This shit's always been true. And, yeah, it's like some of the comments I got, it's like, hey, just do what you do and fuck it, and that's pretty much it. And, it's like you live, you die. What do you do in between? That's what matters. What you do in between while you're alive, while you can, right? And so I may have seemed pretty glum. Someone said, also, you seem a little glum, It's like, well, I was kind of pissed and upset, I can live like this. I can live with minimal stuff and I'm okay with it. I mean, why? It's like we're sold this thing where we're supposed to be successful and work our asses off for, shit, for things, right? For possessions, for, comfort and so-called worldly success where people are going to like acknowledge us for this. And it's like, yeah, but why? You think about it and you look at what's happening in the world and you look at the politicians and you look at what's going on and you say, you can't, not a single person can say that it's beneficial to whom? And so instead of just getting angry or just trying to change the world and all the unfair things, it's like, just do what you love to do. Live before you die. That's it. That's it. It's one of my favorite David Bowie interviews from 2002 where he says something similar. He's like, we have this idea from the past that if we just do this, we just do that, we just gain more, we just become this, that, the other, we'll be immortal in some way, but we're not immortal. And David Bowie wasn't immortal. I wrote a song for him called Immortal in 2016, the day after he passed away. And David Bowie is immortal, but he wasn't immortal in terms of the flesh, and none of us are. He was or is immortal in the sense that we carry his memory on because he did a lot of stuff while he was alive. And that's all we can do. And I'm not striving for fame or fortune or any of that shit because I know it doesn't bring true happiness. Bowie didn't bring David Bowie true happiness. Go watch the documentary about his final years, where he talks about how it was like, a stone on his back or something, where he had to, fame was like, he couldn't walk down the street without being recognized. He lived in New York and wore sunglasses and a hat and hope people didn't bother him. So in my case, it's being true to myself, making music, making video art, doing things not for commercial purposes, not for recognition. And, in this apartment, I didn't mention my last talk. Actually, one of the reasons I wanted to move out, in addition to the fact that it's small and it's not convenient, this, that, the other. And apart from the fact that I came here during COVID, during a breakup, and I was breaking up, I was living in a much larger place with a Japanese woman. And, I thought it was time to move on from this place, right? It was like sort of a temporary stopgap thing at the time. And then COVID, of course, and I thought when COVID lifts, maybe I'll move out, but it didn't work out like that, or it sort of did. I moved out and in. And, but the other reason is that here I have allergies. I have to keep the window slotted open. It's a small window here on the top because my screen is busted. And, except the top one. So I keep it slotted and even it's getting colder and colder, so I can breathe because there's not good ventilation. It's a small room. There's no vents. So I have allergies here. I have asthma here. I have these problems, but it was much worse with that chemical. I mean, that was like, skin rashes and I really couldn't breathe. I mean, that was like horrible. I had pain in my chest. I had like spots that were painful, and I couldn't sleep more than 3 hours there. I sleep through the night here, so, but you just make the best of it, And I do think, in some of the comments, it was like someone said something to me like, you're walking your own path. So if you walk your own path, firstly, you're not going to be accepted by the greater part of society, whether you're in a foreign country or not. And I left my country. I left America because I didn't feel comfortable there. I didn't feel accepted there. I didn't like it there. I studied my butt off for Japanese language for so long because I couldn't live in the U.S. I had multiple things there, that I was not happy with. And this is long, long, long before this shit that's happening now with both Biden and Trump, by the way. And it's not one-sided, I tried to make this point that Harris or Trump, and I said, well, either way you go, it's going to be a shitstorm. So we can't change the world single-handedly. Yeah. So, but be true to yourself and know yourself. Who am I? How many of us can say I am, we have labels. I'm a professor, or I'm a student, or I'm a this, or I'm a that. I don't mean this. I mean, like, really can understand and know yourself and what you stand for and what you, who you are at the core. I mean, that's what this is, this life, is it not? I mean, what else is it? Why else are we here? And in my case, I believe it's making music. It's not that this music is popular. It never was meant to be popular. And my feeling has always been that after I die, people may catch on a little bit and may actually start realizing what all of this is that I've been doing all over these years. And I've been talking about it, and it's in the lyrics, and it's in the sound, and it's in, there's a story there for sure. And it's my story, but it's not just me. It's the story of this thing we're living through, particularly now, and particularly since COVID, perhaps, or 2022, Ukraine, Nancy Pelosi going to Taiwan, and all the shit that's been going on. And Trump wants a third term. He's like, wants to be Xi or something, from China. And we'll see what happens. It's chaos in the world. But it doesn't mean we have to be chaos inside of ourselves. Although there's all this adversity being flung at us, like, all the time, and SNS and AI and disinformation. I mean, and it's like the whole thing. It's like, be angry, be discontent, be addicted to SNS, and keep your nose in your smartphone, and don't take walks in nature, and don't realize what you are actually, which has nothing to do with any of this fucking bullshit, or my being denied apartments, or taking a contract and then moving into a toxic chemical lab, and then moving out, and then losing all this money. And basically I write to the agency and I don't get replies anymore, and half of my stuff is there, and what am I going to do with it? I can't even get out of the place, and I don't have all my stuff here, and I'm doing this single-handedly, because I don't have friends who are offering to take a car and get my stuff with me. So I have to go back and forth and carry all these things on the crowded trains with people, looking at me like, fuck you, because I'm holding all this luggage and I'm bumping into them, which you bump into people anyway in Tokyo. But it's like, nobody is coming to save me, and no one's going to come to save you either. Any of us. That's why you have to be strong in this world. And realize too that this world is a kind of matrix, a kind of, we're alive, we're experiencing this. I'm not saying it's not real, it's real. People try to escape it by doing alcohol, sex, drugs, and all this stuff to escape it because it's too harsh for some people. And that's understandable, but it's real in that sense. We're experiencing it, but what happens when you're sleeping and you're having a dream, or what happens when you you're under anesthesia or you go unconscious, right? You're not in the same reality. And what happens when you die? I can't say, but I can say it's not the same as what's happening now to this consciousness. So, you got to kind of look beyond this matrix, if you will, to use that metaphor, or simulacrum, or whatever the heck metaphor you want to use for it, and realize what's at the root of yourself. And don't give in to this fucking bullshit system, but don't get angry. I mean, I do get angry sometimes, and it's okay. If you're angry and you're purely angry, it's fine, but don't lash out of the kind of limited ego place that, because I don't like it, I'm gonna, and I have struggled a little bit. I mean, I was angry for several days in a row. I was really angry about this thing. I'm still in the middle of not knowing what the hell's going on and living here in this kind of a mess. I cleaned up a bit after I made the Puppet Motel video, which I just found that opportunity was too good to pass up, because my room's not going to be like this in a week, or hopefully this weekend I can even clean up a bit. It's Friday in Japan. But, just don't let them, and again, it's not an us and them thing either, but don't give in to that shit wherever you live, in whatever situation you're in. It's not about, I'm a foreigner in Asia, but I mean, and I talked in my last talk that I speak fluently, and I can do all the things I'm expected to do. And I do them when necessary, but I don't do them at times when I feel that it's not fair or it's not right. I speak out, and that's me, and I will. And I know the consequences of doing that, and that's okay too. So, like the comment, if you want to be an innovator in some way, you're going to be in that position. You think about anyone who has anyone who speaks out, stands out, or does something different. And I get some nasty comments here too, and that's fine too. There's a little thing called, filter. So if you want to be nasty, don't expect your comment to go public. And that's fine. I'll see it. It doesn't bother me at all, because I expect it. I've had adversity all of my life. I've been a black sheep, if you will. But again, I'm not giving myself a label. But that's, to make it easy to understand. And that's fine. And I've accepted my role as who I am and what I am. It's not like I'm choosing to be, it's not because I'm antagonistic. It's because the world is what it is. It can't be helped. So that's what it is. And this morning I had a class online with this. Internet is really bad, but at least I can get on my Zoom app and do it. It's a weak signal. I have to figure this out, because they sold me this air unit that's garbage. It doesn't work well. But I was talking to my students. I said, are you on SNS all day? Are you in an office all day? Are you indoors all day? Do you take walks? Do you spend time in nature? Do you go to the shrines and the temples in Japan? Do you drink green tea? And I don't mean the bottled garbage with chemicals in it in plastic. Right? Plastic's a big theme now, right? I did the Puppet Motel, because that one line actually, take a whiff, burning plastic, reminded me of the song, and then I listened to it, and then I decided to cover it and do the video. But, do you spend time in nature and realize what is, that nature will heal us. It really does heal us. You go out in nature. Someone said, I go scuba diving from time to time, and I forget everything, all my stress and troubles, and I'm with the fish in the water, and it's like, well, yeah. Instead of ingesting all this garbage food and SNS stuff, it's like, take a walk. It's getting cold out, and my room is cold. I've got the window slatted, but actually I closed it because it was cold, but I open it, even when I leave, I open it up so that the air is flowing in my room. Because, and all the chemicals used in building materials and in our foods and in everything and all of it. And we're being tricked into this kind of thing because we allow ourselves to fall into it. And it's hard to get out of it in a way, but you can choose not to participate fully in this three-ring circus. And there are consequences. And that's what my last talk in a way was about. And that's what this talk in a way is about. But so be it. I've got these plants here. I've got green in my room. I can't have pets. I don't need pets. But I've got plants. I bought all these plants, you know, because this is green life. This is life. And I make the best of it. And I make music and I do my thing. Do your thing.